Hello and welcome back to the Replay X Studio. We're here with another episode of The Witcher, episode 3. Last time on The Witcher. RIP Eskel. RIP Eskel. One of my, well, there weren't that many, to be fair. One of the few Witchers in the Wild Hunt that I enjoyed watching. Eskel and Lambert. Yeah, and I did not expect them to kill Eskel that quickly in this series, but I think he did die. So if I remember correctly, um, so yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bit sad. It's a bit sad. Yeah, I mean, in the games, you already know that there are just a few of them about, but to know that there are only 20 and all 20 are here now, and then one just get has to be killed off. It's just a bit unfortunate, and Geralt didn't want to have to do it, but it was between Eskel and Vesemir, so he didn't have much of a choice. Vesemir did say they could have saved him, but unfortunately the situation just escalated too quickly. Um, and it was good to see in that last moment. Eskel said he came back. He was afraid, but he knew something was wrong, but he came back because he thought Geralt could help him. Yeah. So unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. But yeah, one of the things I did note that was a bit odd was the difference in personality. Because, and again, this is just my knowledge of the games, and maybe they had changed that from the novel to the game, and you know, and maybe this is the accurate thing, or maybe this has changed from the novels. I'm not sure, but in the games, Eskel here, his personality was more fitting to Lambert in the games. That's how Lambert was the asshole. He was the prick that got on everyone's nerves. But here it seemed that was more Eskel's thing, and they called Lambert Lamb Chop in this. So I'm curious to know, to see how they portray Lambert going forward, because I was kind of looking forward to seeing that personality that I came to expect from Lambert matched against Geralt, much like we saw with Geralt and Eskel in the when he tried to punch Geralt, because he didn't like what he had to say. That he had a fiery temper, and that's more what I expect from Lambert, not so much Eskel. And that's the back and forth that I wanted to see between Geralt and Lambert. But no, they moved that personality to Eskel, and then they killed Eskel off. So I may not get that, and that's kind of one of the things that I was looking forward to. So I'm a bit disappointed with that. But at the same time, this does open the door for them to kind of build other relationships with Geralt and some of the other Witchers that are there that may become my favorites or one of my favorites. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So yeah, I don't know whether all the Witchers will be sticking around for the remainder of the season, because they're only there to replenish, to heal, and then they go on about their business. They may not be there for all of series training, but I'm hoping that they stick around. I hope they do. Yeah, so Geralt has come to the conclusion now that he needs to prepare Ciri for the worst. In the event she needs to protect herself, and of course we had the situation with Yennefer, um, Francesca, and Fringilla. Yen, it appears, no longer has access to chaos. I'm not sure if that is because um, she used fire magic and there's a penalty for using that, or whether it's a situation where Aretuza cut off her connection to magic. And I suspect that what's going to happen is she's going to tap into her elven blood and start using elven magic, and no longer be reliant on Aretuza. So that is what I suspect will happen. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, there's no an alliance between Fringilla and Francesca, because supposedly a creepy witch in a hut in the middle of nowhere told them that their motivations are aligned. I don't believe that for a minute. I think the White Flame is somehow working in the background and convincing the elves that Nilfgaard is who they should align themselves with. But I think Nilfgaard is going to stab them in the back the first chance they get. Yeah, so I'm with Phil Evangel on this one. I don't think they should be aligning themselves with the humans, at least not these humans. and just keep their heads down and wait for the humans to fight among themselves, and then perhaps come in and try to reclaim the land that was taken from you. Yeah, so I'm with Phil on this one. All right, guys, I'm excited to go into the next episode. Remember to support the channel if you want to see this and more content by hitting that like and subscribe button. Episode 3, let's check it out. All right, training time. Don't worry, you'll get it. Good news is she's gotten rid of the princess attire. Is dressing more appropriately.
That's enough. We'll start fresh tomorrow.
I could do it.
Not when you're frustrated.
You need rest. Ciri. Was it the Black Knight again? If he's still haunting you.
Whose turn is it for lunch?
Still doesn't want to talk about it. Wait. Who was that? I just saw a cloaked figure.
Alright.
Who was watching them just now?
What'd you call a witcher with no brains?
Lambert?
Okay, now she's funny.
She wants to hang out and talk with everyone. Let her. And at least for a bit.
We'll be finished when we're counting worms in the ground, not after an hour on the combs.
3 fucking hours. You sound just like that to me. Last I checked, we come here to rest in the winter, and to restore, and to have some fun.
Leave that be in peace. You'll feel miles to you then.
So you're just like him.
We're all just like him. We won't get any rest until there are no monsters left in the world.
Life's mission. That didn't work out too well in the Nightmare of the Wolf, man. I
Then you can
need to
have
find
some of the
a new
medallions.
occupation. Vesemir trying to figure out how this happened.
It shouldn't have happened. We shouldn't have lost him this way.
Or you need to find the Leshen that injured him.
Let us go rest. He deserves the peace.
Yeah. Guess they've decided that at this point he's gone. Istrid. I haven't seen him in a while.
Force had one good hunch about Nilfgaard's military strategy.
A hunch that saved the continent.
Ah, I am not here to glorify my part in our victory in Sodom, nor to watch you perform vain acquisitions to distract from your failures.
Won't tell you even if he wants to.
So we need to search elsewhere.
Yeah, I would help if I could.
But I wasn't there to study Nilfgaard. I was there to study monoliths.
Yeah,
They
why are you calling me
of
here?
this continent. And I think they hold our future.
Well, I guess they've already started moving.
Don't control this. Now. It'll grow. Beyond even our capabilities.
Or maybe your control has been the problem.
Yeah.
Oh, she's back. Maintain your composure. You can celebrate later.
Cough.
Alright, so it's been a month.
I need to tell you something. Let me speak first.
I have no magic.
Your actions turn the tide at Sodden Hill. You are a hero to me
But
and many others.
fire magic.
to lay low.
Yeah, because unfortunately you're not well liked here, and to be honest, yeah, that's partly
Play for their seats.
because of you. Mages are aligning themselves with elves to support Sintra, so I mean Nilfgaard. So they can't prop her up at this point because no one will support it. Now she won't want to tell her that she doesn't have magic.
Tell us the Morphers turned against the elves completely.
It wasn't that far to turn.
Yes, but you should know our immigration simply has inflamed tensions.
With Nilfgaard, who will protect?
Will they?
Because I stand in the here and now.
And what about later?
Go.
What will Nilfgaard do then?
Be happy.
Ah.
Safely.
This is madness. If you're worried about the future of your people, you can't live in the here and now. You have to think ahead.
You're wasting your time batting sacks of straw coming.
Can't say I do.
What did you do then?
This is not a good idea. Girls is gonna be mad. Yeah, I think they'll protect her, but still, not a good idea.
Afraid to break it now, princess.
What is this thing? Oh, they're old training grounds. Ah, this is dangerous. This is dangerous. She has very little training. This is reckless.
Sure about this. I'm just having a little fun.
Oh, Lambert. Oh man. For a second there, and I looked at the wild hunt.
None of this makes sense.
The continents have all been underneath our feet. We didn't see it coming.
Maybe another conjunction will come along and change it all again.
That didn't work out too well last time. Could have just buried him. Are you letting him get eaten by wolves? Still nothing. So I guess Aretuza didn't cut her off. She just can't.
He survived.
This one was in season 1, right? What's her name again? I forget. The one that was exceptionally gifted. No, it just dawned on me that we didn't see Triss at Aretuza in season 1. And she surely would have been trained here, but we only met her later.
Bent on revenge.
What's he up to now?
Even civilians will let that happen.
Is he trying to say this is going to be Yennefer to incite fear?
To reclaim power.
That's not true.
Oka was a girl forgotten by her family. She was trying to rightly recover her throne.
You weren't there. No, I'm a historian.
Of course, that's his name.
But
was there.
I bet you were. You didn't know Jack. You're just making shit up to scare people.
The violence etched here.
Yourself.
Power to be deluded by elven blood. Thanet will be led to murder.
Yennefer. She would never do something like that.
The only certainty on this continent, my boy,
No, don't listen to him.
is that no one is ever what they seem.
Yeah, that goes for you as well. Again. She's determined to prove them wrong.
Let's go back. You've had enough.
Give her some tips. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Oh, made it. Just past the 1. But that's enough. That's enough. Don't try the next one. Oh no, don't. Yeah, jeez. That's enough. Come on, Cohen, take her back.
You belong in a castle.
I mean, just because she can't make it on this training thing doesn't mean that she automatically belongs in a castle. I don't completely disagree with Lambert because I have no sympathy for monarchs, right? And I have no love for monarchs whatsoever. But she's in this situation now, so. Wait, is Francesca pregnant? I know she had a thing with the witch in the room, but I don't think she was pregnant before that. Okay. You want Sintra?
Can you promise me that?
I don't think she was pregnant before she entered that crypt. Was she pregnant before? Oh, right. Does he even
My condolences.
recall anything
In the end, I'd hope for
after his time with Tesea? I guess he
hate
does.
to break it to you, but you won't meet an end. No, we're practical. Death must serve a purpose.
No? You managed to get to her?
What's the hurry?
What is it with men lurking about this place?
I startled you. So.
The worst kind. Huh? What's he playing at? And she doesn't have any power to resist him at this point, so this is gonna be tough.
Forced to use a method your dear Tesea has grown so fond of.
I'm surprised he had the balls to attempt this without knowing that she lost her powers. Tesea? Thank God. Don't you dare do that again. Yes! I need him to answer for something. He's been causing chaos since season 1. Oh, she's making progress. I still don't think this is a great idea. But nice job. She's gonna hurt herself. Trying to prove to what? The prick, Lambert. Ah. Come on, Siri. Whose idea was this? One mistake and she's dead. Like, I don't know if this is a good idea, guys. Come on. Come on. Ah. Not the most glorious landing, but she made it. But that was still reckless and unnecessary.
So close.
You have committed treason against one our own.
You still did something. You still broke the rules.
He is the enemy.
You still broke the rules.
I don't know. I'm simply saying, Vilgefortz, that if you claim to want to defend the Brotherhood, then you must also be willing to defend it from threats inside these walls.
You are the threat. I don't trust Vilgefortz, so it's, to be honest. He's clearly just thirsty for power. This guy was in, this actor was in Marco Polo, by the way. Another fantastic series. I think it only had 3 seasons. So for those of you who, you know, are looking for something to watch outside of The Witcher, it's about Mongols invading. It's really well done. I recommend it highly. So I'll be sure to go and check it out.
You will have to kill the Nilfgaardian prisoner.
Is this Vilgefortz talking or you?
The hero kills the enemy.
Which will prove what? That you are not a spy. Or that I am a killer.
Now, she's killed people on the battlefield before, but the problem is she doesn't have magic.
I know you to your core. Your pain
Oh, she knew.
is my pain.
Triss is scarred, Sabrina's bruised, we're all in pain.
I mean, I understand where she's coming from. I'm just a bit unclear as to her hesitation to killing a Nilfgaard enemy, because she's killed several of them already.
Trying every herb, every potion, every step to get back what I had. What I deserve.
Trish said the same thing.
Without you, I'm nothing.
From the moment we met, you have been trying to fill a void. Power couldn't do it, even when you had it at your fingertips. What makes you think?
I get it.
Because it's all I have left.
She's powerless without it. And yeah, it's not an easy thing.
I want to be a great fighter.
No, just not like a Witcher, because you're not a Witcher.
I've known many who wanted to be great fighters in my time. Do you know where they are?
Take a guess.
Cemeteries.
Stubborn, that one.
I lied to the council. I spent time amongst Nilfgaard's followers. I talked to them. Heard how they feel protected under the Emperor, how they feel.
You were asked to prove your loyalty by beheading a man.
What is her hesitation with that? She said she doesn't want to be a killer, but she literally scored hundreds of men already. I'm confused about that bit. I guess perhaps that's on the battlefield, so that's different versus a prisoner.
You keep looking down. That's why you're losing your balance. Your enemies aren't on
I like Cohen. I feel like he's what Eskel was supposed to be.
Feeling that you get like someone's coming after you. Can you describe it to me?
A pole.
It's like I'm being pulled.
If you were to follow that feeling, where would it take you?
What was that thing that he pulled out of the wall from her room? That looked like a dress, or was it one of her dresses?
I saw your mother exhibit uncontrolled magical power. She destroyed an entire throne room. I think you've inherited that power.
He's donning the new armor, so this is gonna be
Why didn't you tell
a
me?
fight.
I didn't want to scare you if I was wrong.
You said you'd never let anything happen to me. And I trusted you.
Good. It's about time.
I quite like this armor a bit more than the one he was in season 1. Oh, it's the Leshen. I guess this is the one that's, yeah, the one that killed Eskel. Oh, this is gonna be a lot more difficult a fight in the forest. I would have brought backup. The hell? Oh. The hell is that? What the hell is that? He's only using Igni on the sword. I haven't seen him use it as a blast. I know maybe it's a form. I don't know. Just wondering why he hasn't used it like that. Come on, stay down, stay down. It looks like a centipede thing. I don't even know. Oh, not good. Try to find some crevice or cave that he can't fit into. Oh. Can he get in there? Is there somewhere she can fit into? It's reaching out. It looks like this thing was human too. I think I saw an arm, so it may have been a similar situation with what happened to Eskel.
So Laszlo will be proud.
What will Yennefer do? I mean, I see no problem with hesitating to kill this guy. He's killed countless people, so...
I am ready for the darkness. It is in blindness that we find our true strength.
Do they really have to make a spectacle of it, though, if the whole point is just to prove that she's not a spy? Oh, so it's to appease the kings. Ah, God. And I see Foltest is still alive. I thought he was in the forces that they lost in that battle. This is preposterous. I'm fine with her killing him, but I'm just not fine with her making a show of it to please the kings.
We banded together to fight not only for the future of magic.
Tragically,
She's just summoned away? Why? Something's up. I don't trust what's happening here.
Think she'll put on a fiery display for us tonight, Foltest?
I've heard mages embed these events with spells to prevent magic.
Yes, well, my advisor Dijkstra says she's worth keeping in.
Dijkstra? Interesting.
Today, we must unite again.
against a common enemy.
What does she do? They said they don't allow magic here, so I know Tissaia wants to believe that things are going the way she hopes, but I don't trust Vilgefortz, who she's aligned herself with. So I don't think things are going to work out in their favor. And it seems a bit odd to ask mages to do this. Let's kill him and get it over with and deal with the politics afterwards. He's no saint worthy of sympathy here. Ah. Why, Yennefer? Why? Refusing to kill him, I understand, but what would you gain by freeing him? I don't get it.
Come on then.
Why save me?
Don't flatter yourself. I'm saving me.
Alright, episode 3 of The Witcher. I love Yen, but I think that was a bad mistake. I think that was a mistake to make at the end there. I can understand her not wanting to kill him. If she decides that she doesn't want to do that, that's fine. I commented earlier saying, you know, she has scorched their army before, so she has no problem killing people. Even though she said in her conversation with Tissaia that it would make her a killer, but she's killed. But there's a difference between fighting on the battlefield versus executing a prisoner. That I can understand if that's where she's coming from. So if she refuses to kill him, fine. But why would she free him and make herself look to be a spy? You know, that part I think is just a mistake. Unless she feels if she refuses to kill him, then that would automatically make her a spy, and then they would just turn on her. But if that's the case, don't ride with him. I mean, leave. If they catch him and kill him, then, you know, I don't know how they can say you're a spy if you didn't take him with you. Yeah, so I'm a bit conflicted with her choice in that moment. And of course, she also had the option of just leaving. I think the problem was with her being at Aretuza. You know, if she just decided to leave Aretuza and go on about her business, I don't see how they can accuse her of being a spy when she's not amongst them. She's not gaining any additional information to provide anything to Nilfgaard. So she also had the option of just leaving. Or she may not want to leave because she's trying to figure out how to get her powers back. Because she said she spent months on the road using herbs and whatever she could to get the powers back, and she couldn't. But if you come here and Tissaia says to you that what's gone is gone, and that there's no way to get your powers back here, you know, at Aretuza, then leave. Just leave and try and figure something else out. So I think she painted herself in a corner here, where she's an enemy on both sides. I don't think that was a smart choice. Perhaps she has other plans, and maybe she'll fill us in on that in the other episodes, but at this moment, I don't think that was the best choice for her to make herself an enemy on both sides. I hope things work out for her. I hope, but I feel she has put Tissaia in a bad position here. They just keep working against each other. You know what I mean? Tissaia has been trying so hard to get her back, and she's trying to help her, right? And she's trying to ensure that they have more power there than the prick. I keep forgetting his name that keeps stirring up trouble. I don't trust Vilgefortz. I don't think Tissaia should trust him either. But if aligning herself with him means that they have more of a say at Aretuza, then for the moment that may be the best choice. So I think she should have just trusted Tessia in that moment. And if the worst case happened, I think Tessia would risk her own life to ensure that Yen gets away. So if it is the case where Yennefer felt they would have turned on her anyway, if she refused to do what they said, I think Tessia would have stepped in and she would have put her life down to ensure that she got away. So I just think she just I'm frustrated for Tessia because I see her trying to help her and Yen just disregards everything and just says, to hell with it, I'm doing my own thing. So I'm frustrated for Tessia, so we'll see. Hopefully Yen had a good reason for doing what she did, and we'll learn more about that in the later episodes. Now, finally, we had a bit of closure for Eskel, Geralt and Vesemir leaving him, not burying him, for God's sakes, let bury me. But instead leaving him for the wolves. I don't know if maybe that's just a thing that they do it's the school of the wolves, so I don't know, perhaps. That's just their practice. So they've said goodbye to him. Ciri did something reckless, trying to prove herself to Lambert, who is starting to live up to the Lambert name that I know, but he's still not as fiery as Eskel was, which I think is more of Lambert's personality from what I know from the games. She managed to almost complete the course. I'm not sure why they didn't still cheer her on. She didn't make the landing perfectly, but she completed the course. So that deserves applause. But her relationship with Geralt is building. And as I mentioned in episode 1, in the games, I wasn't the biggest fan of their relationship, the father-daughter relationship, because I didn't see it happen. He had flashbacks here and there, but I didn't particularly care about it. Here, I can see that relationship developing and growing. And I care more about this relationship between the two than I did with them in the game. So I think the series is doing a much better job in that respect. I'm actually I'm liking Cohen quite a bit. I don't think he was ever in the game, but I think he's been mentioned in Gwent, or he's a card in Gwent. And I quite like his character here. He reminds me of what I expected Eskel to actually be. So I'm liking Cohen quite a bit so far as an additional Witcher that we can follow. And the mystery has started to unravel itself as far as Ciri's powers. She's letting Geralt in a bit more about what is happening to her, and he's revealed to her that he knew her mom had abilities and he suspects they've been passed on to her. But as to why these creatures are being drawn to her, that we don't yet know. We also checked in a little bit with Francesca and Fringilla. Now I need to go back and check because I could have sworn Francesca wasn't pregnant when she went into the crypt before she met the witch. But she seems to be very real pregnant. I thought that was an illusion, but she seems to be very pregnant here. So I need to go back and check whether I missed something or whether the witch did something to her and supposedly this is a child. I would not trust that this witch made me pregnant. I don't know. But she says she knew that the witch was just masquerading as one of the gods that they knew. So she knew that she was being deceived, but she liked the proposal that was made, so I guess she just went along with it. And I suppose Fringilla is doing the same thing. They knew they were being deceived, but it's a good idea for them to form an alliance, so hey, let's go along with it. But I suspect, as I said before, I share Phil Evangel's concerns. What are they giving up for this alliance? Can they trust Nilfgaard to live up to their end and not just discard them once they've no use for them anymore? And I just can't get behind Francesca's thinking in that, let's live in the here and now. If you're fighting for the future of your people, you can't just live in the here and now. You have to think about their future, So she lost me completely on that one. But unfortunately, she has the reins, so Phil has no choice but to go along with her. He can oppose her, but if he does that, all he'll do is just divide the elves, and that would just put them in a far worse position than they already are in. So he's going along with it. Yeah, so it's intriguing. It's intriguing. I think Nilfgaard is gonna stab them in the back later on. But I do feel Fringilla may not want that to happen. You know, I don't think she wants that to happen, because she still maintains that she's liberating people. I don't think that is true. As far as I can tell, Nilfgaard takes no prisoners, so I'm not sure who on earth you are liberating. And again, I am aware that Sintra and all the other kingdoms have a shady history and they've done some terrible things, and they are not, they don't deserve any sympathy whatsoever. But the people, the citizens themselves, are not the ones making these decisions, and Nilfgaard is still killing them. And as I've said before, I have no love for monarchs, you know, so I kind of got what Lambert's criticism towards Ciri, in that, you know, you shouldn't be here, princess, because the reality is Ciri is a monarch, and she came from a long line of families who treated the other people like garbage. So I'm with Lambert on that one. I have no sympathy for monarchs in that respect. But at this moment, at this time, she's a little girl who's just trying to survive, and that's I sympathize with. Her as a princess, I do not. Ironically, I was rewatching the season 1, and you know, when we met Cirilla for the first time, and this was before we saw Calanthe and her husband. I think she was outside playing with some of the other kids, the other younger kids, and they were playing a game for bread. And I remember thinking to myself at the time, after we saw that she was the princess, like, why are you playing them for bread? You should be giving them food. I mean, is this just some way so you can feel like you're a commoner, like you're normal, like you're one of, you know, so it's just ironic that a few of those tropes are playing through. And the more we got to look at the other people, the other leaders in the kingdom, the other monarchs and so on, in season 1 we had that woman in the tent who was treating the dwarf like garbage, you know, and telling him to take off his shoes to give to Ciri. I mean, Ciri's family is not that different from that woman, you know. We may think, we feel for her now because she's in this position, and we want to believe that, and I believe that she's a kind-hearted kid, because she's still a kid and she hasn't been, you know, her way of thinking hasn't been twisted to fit the rest of the kingdom. But most of the monarchs are represented by that woman. That is how most of them are. And we see that again here in this episode, with the kings coming to watch this execution and their concern, you know, which, let's be real, they've just been hiding behind their thrones and watching everyone else do the dirty work for them. So I have no particular love for the monarchs, you know, but at the same time, Nilfgaard is not just killing those leaders, they're also slaughtering the citizens when they go. So that is where I'm like, I don't see Nilfgaard as liberators as Fringilla claims they are. And perhaps there's something that we're not seeing. Maybe there's another side of it that that's not yet been revealed to us, you know. Istrid said he's worked with them, he's spoken to them, and they feel protected. But, you know, it could just be a situation where, as long as they protect us, we don't ask too many questions, kind of thing, you know, and they're not questioning who's giving these orders and what their intentions are. So whoever it is that is leading this massive army could, or who represents the white flame, whoever it is, may not have good intentions, but they're kind of buying the citizens' loyalty by offering them protection, which is no better, you know. That's not that's not a good position to be in. So I don't think there are any good guys yet that I can see on either side. So I'm just waiting, observing, and seeing whether I'm proven wrong. But as it is now, every individual has their own motivations, and most of that is being driven by greed or power. So we'll see. Alright guys, remember to post down below, let me know what your thoughts are on this episode of The Witcher. If you want to support the channel, kindly hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you for the next one.